Good morning, sisters. I am so happy to be with you here on this Thursday morning. It is towards the end of the week. We're going to be studying the last topic of our lesson, and it's entitled, When Should We Be Silent? Before we begin, of course, we want to ask the Lord to be with us and to guide us in the study of His Word. We have seen how Jesus reacted when confronted with evil spirits, how He asked many of the people that He healed to be quiet, to keep silent, but in some occasions He also told them to go and share the message. Now we're going to see what He tells to us. What does Solomon tells us about our speech? And we are brought again to the key verse for this lesson, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and 7. And we remember that it says there is a time for everything and a season for everything. Verse 7 says, there is a time to keep silent and a time to speak. How did Christ exemplify this advice, and how can we do the same? So part of the note that we read at the beginning of the lesson is again repeated, and we are reminded that Christ never erred in His judgment of man and of truth. He was never deceived by the appearances. He never raised a question but was clearly appropriate. He never gave an answer but what was fitting and right to the point. Christ never went to extremes, never lost self-control or the balance of mind under any excitement. He never violated the laws of good taste and discernment, when to speak and when to keep silent. Question B. Name one type of circumstance when it is appropriate to keep silent. Proverbs 27, verse 2. And if we go to Proverbs, there it says, Let another man praise thee, and not thy own mouth, a stranger, and not thy own lips. So here we're given one example of a good time to keep silent. When we do anything, we should not praise ourselves, but let others notice. It is never in good taste to talk about ourselves. The note is very important. It says, self-denial means when you might praise yourself, to keep silent and to let other lips praise you. Self-denial is to do good to others when inclination would lead you to serve and please yourself. As Christians, we are called to follow Christ and do as He did and be as He was. And one of the key things in Jesus was that He was humble. And so we had to be humble too. How can we be humble if we're talking about ourselves? Now, question C says, how did Jesus exemplify this principle in His own life as the Son of Man? And we are brought to John chapter 8, verse 50. And Jesus said here, and I seek not my own glory. And chapter 7, verse 18, if he that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. So what did Jesus speak of? He didn't speak of Himself. And He was the Son of God. He is the Son of God. God Himself. And He didn't talk about Him. He didn't give praise to Himself. But He sought praise and He talked about God the Father. So there's a lesson for us. Let's not talk about ourselves. Let's give glory to God and talk about what He has done for us in our lives. God bless you today, and I'll see you tomorrow for our last review of the whole lesson. Goodbye.